tell everybody the new projects you have going. And I will interject this. Tony made the comment that you all made the decision, as long as folks enjoyed material put together in any form or fashion, you all were going to keep offering. Because weren't there a lot of things that didn't get out there for fans? Like, for example, I think Tony mentioned the newspaper articles. Talk about that a little bit.
There's still demand from her fan base for new material. So she wrote a monthly column for a newsletter called Southeast Cassette Lifestyles. That was published by her webmaster, Marty Heim. And so so this was previously published material, kind of like Dave Barry did a newspaper article, and who's the guy in Georgia that did it? Get things right now.
Oh, I know you're talking about. It's not Louis Broussard.
Louis Broussard had a weekly or monthly column in a newspaper, and so then they eventually collected all those columns and made a book out of it.
Yeah.
And so I remember Louis Broussard was, Elvis is dead, and I'm not feeling so good myself. but it was simply a collection of these newspaper articles. So we're taking the collection of Southeast Gazette newsletter articles and creating a book. We haven't come up with a title yet. If any of your listeners have a good selection, let me know. But we're going to put that together in a book. We're editing that right now, compiling it. There are a few other articles that she wrote for other magazines, which we'll include. But some of those stories have never been told on stage. They're not part of the DVDs or the CDs. They're only written down. So we'll like Don't Budge Young Naked. That book was primarily material that she told on stage and simply wrote it down because we like the story. A lot of this material, not all, a lot of this material we think she only wrote down. She didn't include it. She never did as a stage show. So that'll be that. There's also a documentary in the works with Elon University. I'm not sure how we stand on that right now. It's been in the works for a while. The idea for it actually started before she passed, but we're working with Elon to get the documentary done. And I'm sorry, I don't have an update.
Well, let me tell you, it'd be smart if they went to the opening in Graham and just took some footage of people coming in. That would be something very smart to do.
The challenge with Elon is that they're an academic institution. This is right in the middle of the fall, right in the middle of the first month of the fall schedule. So I don't know that they'll have time to include it. Excuse me, they got enough material already to do the documentary, so many more wouldn't make that much difference. They had access to everything that Graham had already. So so we have those two projects going. We got the anthology, which we need a title for. We, in a perfect world, we'll get that out in November so that people can buy it for Christmas. But it might wait until next year before it comes out.
Right.
I have no idea.
Well, Al, you mentioned something pretty clever. Why don't you have kind of not a contest, but for lack of a better word, who can come up with a title, and the title that gets selected, send them a batch of Jeannie's all of her material.
Well, we can also credit them in the book too.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that would be a great thing. So folks that are listening to this, send in titles. And what I've done in the past is I've copied and I've sent it on to Al, some ideas that you all have given. And people, we always love new ideas and new ways. But speaking of documentaries, that's one thing. My good friend Jay Pitts was doing a Miss America documentary, and there's one on A&E, but this is separate. And Jay interviewed probably 40 Miss Americas at the 100th anniversary. And he and I were talking, and this was before Jeannie passed away several months. And I said, there's only one state queen that I know of that has done what Jeannie has done, and that's Jeannie. And I said, you need to get an appointment and get her in this documentary. And I talked to Jeannie several times about it. She got in communication with Jay. And when I found out about Jeannie, I was so devastated. I forgot to call Jay. It didn't dawn on me. He called me devastated. He said they were actually planning to film the documentary. It's very first class, and it's not anything weird like the A&E was like secrets and it digs in all kinds of the bowels of the not good. This was about the great things of Miss America and what it could do. So he was so sad about that. But this Elon documentary, I can't wait to see it because I know Jeannie is on Netflix because I've seen her. I don't know if they still play her show on Netflix, but this could be an amazing project because again, we are hungry for humor, and like you said, it's the way that we can learn to laugh and have levity through some tough times, and we historically go through tough times, personally, professionally, the whole deal.